All right, we are live in beautiful sunny Florida, and today, fight fans, we're going to be breaking down UFC Vegas 20. We got, if I can get the fucking main event up here, we got Cyril Gahn. He is going to be taking on, Jesus Christ, he's going to be taking on Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Really good fight, man. Striker's delight. I like what both guys bring to the table on the feet. Really, really good main event. Two heavyweight main events in a row. That's pretty dope. Of course, I had to bring a guest, and we got a good one here. We got my boy UFC Bro Picks, Justin. And for everyone that was like messaging me, "Are you and Justin cool? Are you and Justin cool?" Just because we stopped doing the podcast together. Yes, we are fucking cool. There was no problems. It's just wanted to go back to my old channel, and here we are. We're still doing podcasts together, so no worries whatsoever. Justin, how you doing, my man? And how do you like this card?
Yeah, man. A lot of people hit me up too. They're like, I thought you guys hate each other now. Like, why you guys split up? I'm like, honestly, it was for the best, just because it's better for our schedules. We both have different schedules. I'm working Graves now as of like 2 days ago, so we're still going to be doing shows. He'll be on my channel, I'll be on his, and maybe in the future we'll co-host again. I do like this card. A lot of people shit on it. It kind of I'm kind of bummed out about the Knight Menifil fight. I had a bet on Knight. I thought that was one of the best fights of the card. Um, but yeah, man, it is a pretty good card. And like I always tell you every time we talk, I just like having UFC every Saturday. So
For sure, man. Like we're gonna watch regardless, no matter how good the card is. But I will say, we've gotten some real shitty fight nights in the past year in the COVID era, and I fucking like this card, man. We've lost some fights. I think we're down to 11, and yeah, there's good spots. Me and Justin we have a consensus bet on this card, so it'll be fun to talk about that one. And yeah, man, let's just get first. I got to bring up last week, of course, Derrick Lewis. Like, how can you not talk about Derrick Lewis knocking out Curtis Blades? Firstly, gigantic upset. Secondly, in hindsight, are we really that surprised? I mean, the dude has made a career out of doing this shit, and it's not like we've never seen Curtis Blades get knocked out before. So it's like, yeah, man, maybe there was definitely some value on Derrick Lewis. And I think there'd probably be some people out there arguing, no, there wasn't value on Derrick Lewis. He was getting fucking pieced up the entire time and then came back via fluky knockout. I don't view it like that at all, man. He was even out there stuffing Curtis Blades' takedowns. Like, it's not like he just came in, fight started, knocked him out. No, Derrick actually looked pretty decent. It's just clearly the size of Curtis was a problem. Like Curtis is a big 6'4" dude, super long, like 81, 82-inch reach. Curtis striking has come a long way too. He was definitely testing that out, and he looked fucking good, man. It was just Derrick. He timed that uppercut perfectly off the takedown attempt. So like all the props in the world to him, man. Looking at the rest of the card, anybody else I want to highlight? Like I definitely got to highlight Casey O'Neill. Were you on her too, Justin?
yeah, we both had a bet
Yeah,
on her.
man. Yeah, I mean, how do you not fade Shanda Dobson, dude? It's like just because she beat Agapova last time, who pulled a complete and utter stunt, by the way, doesn't mean that Shayna Dobson isn't a long-term profitable fade like she is, dude. I mean, she's awful. It's not like she was able to do anything to Agapova before Agapova completely gassed, and we knew. I mean, all you had to do was watch the tape. You could find out right away. Casey O'Neill is a super aggressive wrestler, grappler, doesn't slow down. Clearly wasn't cocky like Agapova was. It was such recency bias, bro. Like if Agapova, there goes my dog. If Agapova would have done her job and actually got Dobson out of there, Dobson would have been like plus 300 against Casey O'Neill. But it's complete and utter recency bias. So yeah, man, I think Casey O'Neill is a decent prospect. I think she can actually kind of go far in the division, like with that style. Like wrestler, I love wrestlers, bro, and that's what she does. I think she can take down a lot of girls. I think she can hold down a lot of girls. I think she might even be able to finish a few girls. I know it's Shayna Dobson. I don't want to get too carried away, but Casey O'Neill's a good fighter. Anybody on the card you want to talk about, bro, from last one?
Yeah, let's talk about the Chavez Gordon fight. I mean, I bet on Chavez, and yeah, man, I think it's safe to say that I was off on that fight, and I don't think he as good as I thought he was, honestly. And honestly, a lot of people are saying that Gordon's just a really good fighter. I don't think so, man. I just think Gordon was the better fighter, but I still think Gordon's a fade. Like, yeah, Gordon won the fight. He had good weight kicks. He had more volume, but I mean, I just thought Chavez could have touched that chin, but it wasn't the case. The O'Neal fight, though, She's so big for the weight class, and she has really good pace. Like her cardio is good. I do think that she can go far, man. I mean, imagine her fighting like a Julian Robertson, or like who would you go with in that fight? Like as much as I like Robertson, like I think Casey O'Neill would beat her, dude. Like I think Casey O'Neill could beat a good amount of fighters in the division right now, man. I mean, she's not top 15 yet, but I think that she's young. I think she could be in the top 10, pretty soon.
Definitely shallow division. She can easily get in the rankings, bro. I might even take just one more.
Yeah, who else on the card? Also, the Derrick Lewis fight. I mean, let's be honest though, man. Derrick Lewis, like, he's probably been in the best shape his past two fights. He doesn't have a belly anymore. Like, he actually looks really good. And I thought the first round was close, but Blaze should have been shooting for more takedowns, dude. Yes, his striking's improved, but you're just giving Lewis a chance to win, man. You should be shooting relentless takedowns against a guy that has been taken down against Latifi, like guys that don't even belong a heavyweight. Like, come on, dude. Like Blades, I get it. Like, he has good striking, but he should have been shooting out of the gate because it's a complete mismatch on the mat. So
Yeah, man. I
sucks.
mean, the way that Derrick Lewis versus Blades went is kind of how I thought Derrick Lewis and Alir Latifi would go. I was really big on Derrick Lewis in that spot, and it's really amazing that he actually pulled out the win there because he was held down like 13 minutes in that fight. Like looked awful. Like I wanted to bet Derrick Lewis in the spot against Blades, but as soon as I rewatched Lewis versus Latifi, just like cut. I'm good. I'm good with that. So yeah, I mean, heavyweight's just so fucking unpredictable. But speaking of heavyweight, there was a lot of good heavyweight prospects on this card, man. And I even tweeted out heavyweight is great again, and it's probably the greatest it's ever been. We got Chris Dawkins, who's amazing boxer. Tom Aspinall, who went out and showed a really nice blast double and subbed Arlovsky like instantly. Like we're talking about real jujitsu with Tom Aspinall, in my opinion. And then Sergey Spivak. I think you can put Sergey Spivak right up there with those guys. I think Spivak is his boxing's getting better every single time. That jab is sweet. He's got a really good ground game. I think Spivak could be another one to look out for. Again, I love heavy, aggressive wrestlers, and that's what Spivak is. So I think all three of those guys have big futures. Do you have one that you think will go the highest?
Dawkins. I mean, I'm pretty high on Dawkins. You're gonna get mad at me, but I got a piece so bad, dude. I'll be right back.
Oh, you're good, bro. So while you do that, I'll just quickly talk about some of the other highlights. So I had a pretty big loss, but it was like the only losing bet I had on the card. It was Draco Rodriguez against Eamon Zahabi, and all the props in the world to Zahabi. He landed the best punch he ever threw in his career, and it landed, and he knocked out Draco. I think in hindsight now, looking at Draco and looking at both of his losses, guy's kind of chinny. Let's be honest here. I don't think it's good at all. He's got skills though, man. I like that BJJ. I like the boxing. He's got the pro boxing experience. He's got a shit ton of AMI experience too. It's just I don't know. He's green and he might be chinny, so I don't know how to feel about Draco. Julian Erosa. I mean, you gotta shout out Julian fucking Erosa, man. That was an awesome performance. He knocked out Landwehr in less than a minute. I was pissed because I had like no Julian Erosa and DraftKings, and as soon as he knocked him out, I'm like, holy shit, was that a minute? Was that over a minute? Was that under a minute? Because if y'all know, DraftKings has the new 1 minute or less 25-point bonus. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. If Julian Erosa got that less than a minute bonus, I'm pretty much fucked on DraftKings. And I had a pretty good start before that point, and 56 seconds. So he was able to get that bonus. He scored like 135, kind of screwed me the rest of the night. Next one kind of screwed me too, man. John Castaneda. I was big on Eddie Wineland and DK. He was the underdog on DK. I mean, he clearly looked like the better fighter. I wasn't wrong in that aspect. It's just, yeah, man, when you're 36 and has been knocked out as much as he has, it's just like, it's hard to trust him. So props to Castaneda for landing that shot. But I don't see a high future for Castaneda. It's just more of a situation where he knocked out an old deteriorating guy who's probably going to retire now. Anything else? Yeah, one thing I'll say about the Yana Kuniskaya, I thought she clearly won that third round. Yes, I realized she was controlled for most of the round, but guys, useless. I don't want to say useless, but I don't want to say boring either, but just control time where almost nothing happens. I outweigh, even if it's 20, 30 seconds, I gotta outweigh vicious ground and pound where huge damage is dealt over 4 minutes and nothing. So I had zero issues with that decision. I thought Yana Kunitskaya was the rightful winner. How do you see that one, bro? You're muted.
It was a very close fight, but I mean, I don't know. I think Vieira maybe edged it, but I mean, it's not a robbery either way, you know.
Yeah, I don't think it's a robbery either way, but I think the right girl won, to be honest. So yeah, that's it. Let's move on to this card we got on Saturday, man. It's a good one. I got a few bets already. I got one I'm eyeing, but I want to wait for weigh-ins for it. First fight of the night, I guess I got to go through this one first because I do have a bet on it. We got Dustin Jacoby. He's taking on Maxine Grishin. We got Jacoby minus 180, Grishin plus 150. I'm on the underdog in the spot, man. I got Maxime Grishin. Basically, I see a lot of advantages and reasons to like the underdog here, especially at plus 150 or better. One thing I want to start doing when I feel good about these plus 150 or betters, like even if it's not super confident, I just got to take the shot, man. You got to take shots on these underdogs. Justin knows that of all people. He's a dog hunter, and even if you aren't crazy confident, man, we're playing the lines here. And with Grishin, I mean, firstly, just Dustin Jacoby, like I like the guy, but firstly, this is a huge step up from Ty Flores and Justin Ledet. He only has 3 MMA fights in the last 6 years. Granted, he did look good in them, but he did get taken down. And I think Grishin can do that here. Grishin actually has wrestled a lot in the past. If you watch his PFL career, I want to say he took down every single person he fought in PFL, but I could be wrong about that. He even took down Antigolov, and we know that's a weakness in Dustin Jacoby's game. Yes, I know that's a weakness in Grishin's game too. You can watch that Tabora fight, but firstly, Tabora is a heavyweight. Tabora went like what 4-0 in 2020. Tabora is no slouch at all. Um, I think, and not only that, Dustin Jacoby is not going to come out here and shoot. When is Dustin Jacoby shot? He's going to strike. He's going to go for those leg kicks. He does have good kicks. He's got amazing striking. I mean, one does not simply hang around in glory kickboxing for 15 fights. The dude can strike for sure. And you know what, man? Maxime Grishin can strike too. I don't think it's some complete mismatch on the feet. I think it's a competitive striking battle where I give the underdog a wrestling advantage and an MMA experience. I mean, Grishin has over 40 MMA fights, guys. Jacoby, he's got a little less than 20, but it's really just the 3 MMA fights in the last 6 years that stick out to me. I think he's due a loss in this step up in competition. I like where Grishin's training. He did this camp over at Extreme Couture with Sergey Spivak, with Francis Ngannou. So yeah, it's not a crazy confident pick, but I can see him getting a late TKO. I can see him winning a decision. So at this line, I got to roll with Grishin. I put 3 units on him at plus 155. Who you got, Justin?
Yeah, man, I do think he's a live dog here for sure. Just my thing is, I just think that both these guys are strikers, and I think that Jacoby is the better striker. I think that he's, really technical. He has really good kicks. He has the reach advantage. He's a good kickboxer. He has a good right hand, a good jab, good pressure, good cardio. Trains at a good camp in Factory X. I believe Christian's been training at Extreme Couture, so I mean, it's also a good camp. He's a big. Both these guys are really big light heavyweights. And Christian has a lot of wins by sub too. A lot of wins by KO, but I just want to know if I'm convinced that he can go out there and take a guy like Jacoby down. I know Jacoby got taken down at Contender Series, but that was late in the fight, and I think he was kind of tired from beating Flores' ass. So I think from a sideways matchup, he has more volume, Jacoby, than Christian. I think Christian's kind of slow. I wasn't really impressed with his performance against Antigulov. It was slow. It was a sloppy first round. But yeah, he got the finish. But yeah, I think Jacoby should win this fight. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Christian got him down and, got the submission. Because let's be honest, that's how you beat Jacoby. Like you saw in the past and stuff. He just doesn't really have a ground game. He doesn't, so grapplers are going to beat him. I'm just not convinced that Grisham is a grappler, so I'll go with Jacoby.
All right, so moving on to the next fight. I love this fight, man. This is a really good matchup between 2 young studs. We got Ronnie Lawrence. He's taking on Vince Cachero. Ronnie Lawrence sitting minus 160. Yeah, minus 163. Cachero plus 140, plus 143. I'll start with this one, man. I mean, I think it's a pretty straightforward wrestler versus boxer matchup. I think you got to heavily favor Ronnie Lawrence in the wrestling and grappling department. I think you got to heavily favor Cachero in the the striking department, and I know I've seen a lot of people disagree with me on that and say Ronnie Lawrence is the better striker. It's like I got to disagree with that, man. I think Kuchera has the sharper boxing, and Ronnie Lawrence is going to be looking to show here. He's not going to be looking to strike. It's just really kind of about if Kuchera can stuff, if he can get back up. It's hard to say, man. I mean, he was taken down a lot in his last fight. Ronnie Lawrence, he was, I want to say he landed like 12 takedowns or some shit in his contender fight. Really kept up a nice pace. Yeah, man. I mean, it's hard for me to confidently say Kuchera is going to do his thing, stuff, get back up, outstrike. So I think Ronnie Lawrence is the rightful favor here. It's just I don't want to bet the 6-1 guy at moderate juice here against another young guy. I mean, these guys are just still kind of relatively unknown. One thing that definitely strikes my interest though, when Dana White comes out and says someone is special, like he has said about Ronnie Lawrence, I mean, I take notice of that shit. When the boss says he's special, I mean, I gotta at least consider it. I mean, I wouldn't call him special by any means. I do think he's a good talent, but yeah, I'll roll with Ronnie, but it's a pass for me. Who you got?
Yeah, I like Lawrence here, dude. I think he's a good grappler. I like the fact that he had 12 takedowns last fight, and he's just relentless, man. He trains at a good camp in Sanford MMA. Yeah, his striking's not really the best. He has a karate background, but I mean, I just don't think it's gonna matter that much here, dude. Cachero's, a brawler. I think that he's known for his durability. He has striking. He has the better striking. He trains out of Factory X, and I mean, he's just kind of like undersized here. And I mean, he's tough, dude. No, I know Kenny knocked him out and all that stuff, but I just think that the relentless pressure for um, a guy like Lawrence, just and he's going to take him down because we've seen Cachero's. That's his weakness. He can get taken down. So I think Lawrence should just take him down at will here and get a win.
All right, moving on to the next one. We got a women's bout. We got Sabina Mazzo and Alexis Davis. A lot of money coming in on Alexis Davis. I've been seeing Alexis Davis this and Alexis Davis that all week long. I mean, I'm going to disagree, man. I think Sabina Mazzo is rightfully in the minus 200s here. I like her a lot. I think she's definitely got a striking advantage. One thing I'll say though, yeah, she doesn't do the best with pressure, and that actually is what Alexis Davis does. Like, it's clearly not the prettiest with Alexis Davis, but she does go forward. She throws decent combinations for women's standards, but I just see Mazzo. I see Mazzo, keeping the distance here. I think she's got a big speed and footwork advantage, and yeah, I think she'll be able to, kind of circle around here and kind of time that head kick. I think she's going to kick Alexis Davis's head off, to be completely honest with you. Another thing about Alexis Davis is she's kind of like the Darren Elkins of women's MMA in the sense that she wears damage so fucking badly. Like, this girl gets busted open every single fight, and I think that could be a factor with the judge's decision. One thing about Mazzo I don't like though is she's been a slow starter consistently. I think she's lost the first round of every single UFC fight she's had except for Shanna Dobson. Not a good look for sure, but yeah, man, I like her. I think her ground game's improved a lot too. Got a sub last fight. Uh, we know that's what Alexis Davis brings as well. She's got a lot of subs on her record. I believe she is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Mazzo, I think she's a brown belt. Mazzo trains under Cordero. I mean, Mazzo's getting better every single time, bro. And Alexis Davis is a vet who's been around forever, who probably has limited time. So it's like, I got to go with the younger fighter with a big height and reach advantage, possible strike, definitely a technical striking advantage. And then, yeah, man, I mean, yes, it could be sweaty. A couple of Mazzo's fights have been sweaty, but one thing I'll just say is she's a really strong finisher. Like, she might be a slow starter, but she always finishes strong. Knocked out, no, actually, I should say she subbed Kish in her last fight. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mazzo. I don't know if I can parlay her up though. It's just like I said, she starts slow, so I almost feel like Alexis Davis is gonna win this first round. So I don't want to bet a favorite that I think has a pretty good chance of losing the first round. This fight could, I guess, it could be sweaty, but I definitely got to roll with the favorite, man. Who you got?
Yeah, I believe this is at bantamweight too. So Mazzo's never fought a fight at bantamweight, so this is kind of interesting. I mean, I still think she's a flyweight. She probably helps her out with the cut and stuff. But yeah, man, I just don't really see how people can pick Davis here, dude. She's at the bottom of the division. I think that she's at the end of the career. Let me take that back. Not the bottom of the division, but she's at the end of her career. She's declining. She's washed on 3-5 losing streak. I think Mazzo's is a lot better on the feet, more technical. And Mazzo's shown that she has a ground game too. Obviously, Davis has the grappling advantage, but I just don't know. I'm not really convinced that she can go out there and take her down. Even if she does, she can get sub because Mazzo's a legit brown belt out of King's MMA. So um, I'll go with Sabina Mazzo with a finish.
All right, so we got the newest fight added to this card, man. This is a really good one. We got Alex Cowboy Oliveira taking on Ramazan Kermagomedov. It's lined to dead pick'em. Who do you got, man?
Yeah, man. I actually got Ramazan here, dude. I could kind of, impressed with him. Watching his contender series fight against Jordan Williams. It was a close fight. He got hurt in that fight a couple times too, man. I mean, Williams has good boxing, let's be honest, but a lot of volume for Ramazan, and I mean, he's a grappler too. So I mean, he definitely has the advantage on the mat here. Cowboy's grappling he has good offensive grappling, but he's just not really good on the mat defensively. Like been subbed a lot. You saw how easy it was for that choke last fight that he got subbed against. How do you pronounce his last name?
Yeah, that's a tough
Rachmanov
one.
or whatever. We know Cowboy. He's a brawler. I think he's taken a lot of damage and he's kind of slow as well. I mean, his output on the feet is not it's not the best. I mean, Ramzan way more volume. I think Ramzan's a little more technical. I do think Cowboy has more power, but you got to give Ramzan the advantage here on the mat. And I think on the feet, it's short notice fight. He's a big dude though. I think he fights at 85 too, and he trains out of Mark Henry and stuff like that. So I'll go with the newcomer here. I mean, if he hits plus money, that's really convincing. I mean, plus money to fade a guy like Cowboy because let's be honest, Cowboy's seen better days, dude. He's at the end. I think he's at the end of his career right now, man. So I'm gonna go with Browns on here.
Yeah, I was thinking about betting on Randy Brown against Oliveira when that fight was made, but we don't have that fight anymore. We got Ramazan Kurmagomedov, who I'm familiar with. I remember when he fought Robert King Hale back in the PFL a few years ago. He's got some good wins since then. He's 8-0 now, man. I think he's ready for the UFC. Short notice, though. I mean, you always got to be concerned about the short notice. But on the other hand, I feel like these Russians are always ready. With Cowboy Oliveira, it's like it's pretty clear if you were around watching Cowboy when he kind of first came in, and then a few fights later, the Ryan LaFleur knockout, the Tim Means finish. That was a bad motherfucker right there. But it was really just once Alex Oliveira went through those legal troubles and he was gone for a little while, and then when he came back, not really the same guy, man. That and mixed with the Gunnar Nelson fight. If you haven't seen that Gunnar Nelson fight, I mean, we're talking life-changing damage. It was really bad, and I think that was apparent in the next two fights where he fought Mike Perry and Nicholas Dalby. If you're an educated MMA fan, you know for a fact Alex Oliveira is a better fighter than Mike Perry and Nicholas Dalby, and the fact that he lost those fights to those guys. Now, I know you can say the ref helped out Nicholas Dalby. Still should not have been that close. Eked out a split decision against Max Griffin. I mean, what's Max Griffin's UFC record? Isn't he like fucking 3-7 or some shit in the UFC? Like really not good. And then Peter Sabatta is another guy who was coming off a really long layoff, came in and he's a guy who looked like a shell of himself. Peter literally could not pull the trigger, could not shoot a takedown. It was one of the more embarrassing performances in the UFC last year. And Cowboy still couldn't get him out of there. And then Shavkat Rakhmonov. Yeah, some people are talking about how Cowboy started off strong in that fight, landed some big shots. Yeah, he did, but what happened when Shavkat actually fought back, man? I mean, it was just, Shavkat gave him the business, nice knee to the body, beat him up against the cage. Cowboy got a little desperate, shot in, got caught. I don't know, man. I'm not convinced Cowboy's the same guy he was a few years ago when he knocked out LaFleur, finished Tim Means. I got to go with the young guy here. I think Ramazan has something for him in the wrestling department and the striking department. Like, yeah, Cowboy has the technique advantage. He's a more powerful guy, but I don't think it's a mismatch by any means. So close striking battle, wrestling advantage to Ramazan. But yeah, it's kind of sketch just because it's short notice. Huge experience advantage for Cowboy, but yeah, I got to go with the guy who doesn't look like he's declining. I got to go with the guy who looks like he's on the way up. That has a clear path. So I disagree with the line movement. I think Ramazan was rightfully opened around minus 150, and I'm with Justin, bro. If this hits plus 100 and Ramazan looks good at weigh-ins tomorrow, I might have another bet on my hands. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Ramazan by decision. Next fight, we got Angela Hill versus Ashley Yoder. Angela Hill about a minus 375 favorite, plus 300 on Yoder. Who do you got, bro?
I mean, yeah, you know how I got here, dude. This is a pretty easy pick. Angela Hill all day in here. She won the first fight. Um, Honestly, dude, her last two fights, man, could have gone either way. I thought they were really close. I actually thought she won both of them. I think that she's really improved a lot, man. She's way better on the feet than Yoder. Yeah, Yoder has advantage on the mat. I just don't know if she can go out there and hold her down or get a submission. So I like Angela Hill here. Angela Hill here all day.
Yeah, man. I don't like Angela Hill in 5 round fights, and I think that's pretty clear why. If you watch those 5 round fights, she slows down. She doesn't have the best cardio in the world, and I think I know one was against Waterson. I'm forgetting who the other 5 round fight was, but she came out, won the first 2 rounds, and then lost the last three. She even loses the third round in a lot of her fights. Good thing for her, her here is we only have a 3 round fight, and yeah, I mean she's better than Yoder. Let's be honest here. I mean, I guess Yoder could get a takedown, but or two, but I mean, you got to favor Angela Hill like really big time on the feet here. I think she pieces up Yoder. I think it'll look similar to the first fight, to be honest. But man, in that third round, if Yoder takes that back, I think Angie minus 400, minus 375 betters could be shitting their pants there, man. Because like I said, that round three is not a good one for her. Hopefully she patches that up though, because like she is a good fighter. I like what she brings to the table. She's decent athlete, decent power, good striker. The ground game's lacking, yeah, but I feel like she's making the right improvements. So I'll go with Angie, but it's not a desirable fight whatsoever, betting or from a fan perspective. Moving on to the next one though, we got our consensus bet. We got Alexander Hernandez. He's taking on Thiago Moises. Some recent line movement we got on Alex Hernandez. He's now minus 220, minus 200 in most books though. Moises plus 160, plus 170, plus 180. Who do you got, man?
Yeah, I got Moises here, dude. I got a bet on him. I like him, man. Honestly, dude, I think that this is a good matchup. I think that a lot of people are acting like Hernandez is back and all this stuff just because he beat, let's be honest, probably the one of the worst fighters in the division. And Grismacher was facing a really long way out there too. And let's be honest, when you watch the fight over again, Grismacher was really doing some good pressure and stuff, but he just couldn't. I mean, he's just not really a UFC material, man. As much as I like Grismacher, he's just not UFC material. And in this matchup, like we were talking about it off air, both these guys are low volume on the feet. Will Martin, what a fucking bum Will Martin is. But yeah, man, I think both these guys are low volume on the feet. I think that Moises' striking actually looked a lot better versus Bobby Green. He showed a lot of improvements in that fight, dude. And I was really impressed. I mean, he pressured Bobby Green a lot and was really aggressive. And if he does that here, I think he can cause problems for a guy like Alex Hernandez, who definitely doesn't have the best cardio. I think the cardio is definitely Moises here. I think Hernandez probably needs to get a first round finish because if he doesn't, he's going to slow down. He's a grappler by trade. Both these guys are grapplers, but I think Moises is the better black belt. Hernandez is not even a black belt. Moises is the better grappler. I think he has a better ground game. And people are acting like Hernandez has all this volume on the feet, man. He really doesn't, dude. I mean, he's low volume, man. So, and Moises is one of the best chins in the division, dude. So I'll be really surprised if Hernandez goes out there and finishes him early. He is faster though, and he does, he has good movement and stuff. But let's be honest, man. That fight with Beneil, I think that was a fluke. If they rematch, Beneil will destroy him, dude. And honestly, the main reason why I'm on him here is if you watch the OAM fight, he put himself in so many bad positions against OAM, and OAM is such a bad fucking French jobber. If one of those positions happens in this fight with Moises, it's over, dude. Like, Moises is legit on. He is fucking nasty, bro, on the mat, dude. And he's not a fucking French quitter like OAM. OAM could have finished that fight. He could have won that fight. He's an idiot, man. He's French. We know what the deal is with that guy like OAM. So I definitely think if those spots happen in this fight, bro, Moises is going to capitalize here. So I got Thiago Moises, man. I think he can get a submission here. Would it surprise me if you heard Alex on the feet? No, because Alex is a little chinny. We've seen him quit before. Yeah, man. I'm telling you right now, man, I was not really impressed with Moises until you watched the Bobby Green fight because he proved. And one thing, too, he just turned 25, bro. He trains at ATT. He's a younger fighter here, too. I feel like no one knows that. Everyone's acting like Alex Hernandez is a younger fighter. Hernandez is 28. Moises is going to improve every fight, man. I mean, he really is, dude. And the Bobby Green fight, dude, I don't care what anyone says. I thought the first and third round were clear, man, for Moises. I know Bobby Green outstruck him by like 30 strikes, but Moises just really landed like the hardest shots in that first round and the third round and the grappling. And I know Bobby Green took him down, but like he got right back up. Bobby Green has a good wrestling background, dude. So I don't think Hernandez should shoot here because if he does, he's giving Moises a chance to win. So I'll go Thiago Moises here, man.
Man, I am fully on board. We got Moises. I got him plus 160. Yeah, man. I mean, you mentioned the first round finish. I don't think Hernandez necessarily needs that first round finish to win this fight. He could win a decision, but if you're betting Hernandez at minus 200, minus 220, I think you need that first round knockout to make that bet look justifiable. I'll say that. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. He does slow down. Like every single time Hernandez fights go past the first round, it gets a little sketchy. And yeah, I know he looked good last fight. He knocked out Gritzmacher is a hobbit, guys. Gritzmacher hasn't fought in years. Gritzmacher got kicked out of his main gym a few years ago. Let's be honest, Gritzmacher's a A1 bum. And then the Trinaldo fight, props to him. He got the W there in his hometown. I think if that fight was elsewhere, I think Trinaldo would have it was a close fight, man. I think both guys landed 25 strikes. Like it was dead even. I think it's just a case of that fight was in Texas, so he got the job done. And then the OAM fight, you brought that one up. I was going to bring it up. Yeah, he put himself in some bad spots. OAM got some takedowns. I mean, I feel like if OAM can get some takedowns, I feel like Moises can get some takedowns. And you mentioned Hernandez possibly shooting. Fuck, dude, I hope Hernandez shoots because I'm going to be loving every single minute this fight is on the mat. I think Moises is the much more superior BJJ guy. And when it comes to the wrestling, like, it's pretty even, I think. I think both guys can land takedowns if they really want to. Striking wise, first round's going to be scary. Let's be honest here. Hernandez, he comes out hot. He has got power. He's got speed. We're going to be shitting our pants in that first round. Let's be honest. But Moises has showed off a pretty good chin. His striking clearly is making improvements. Like, just to speak on the improvements Moises made in his last fight against Bobby Green, guys, I mean, you can go back and watch old videos. Me and Justin might have been two of the most critical people on Thiago Moises, and now we are over here betting on him. That just goes to show how good he looked against Bobby Green. Like, it wasn't a blow your mind away performance or anything like that, but like, when you consider how he looked previously, we're talking about a mind-blowing improvement for sure. I mean, he looked like he had almost no striking against Michael Johnson, and then he comes out against Bobby Green, and I don't want to. I mean, he looked like a new guy. Let's be honest, he looked like a brand new striker. I liked it, man. The volume was better too, and I'll say that about Hernandez. Like, you said people were arguing with you about the volume. Like, I think if you were to ask me one fight ago from each guy, I'd say both guys have low volume, but both guys' volumes look pretty good. Fucking last fight, they were. I mean, I liked it, man. Moises threw like 130 strikes against Bobby Green. I mean, it was definitely a big improvement. Um, I don't think Hernandez is the only guy with the knockout threat here. Thiago Moises has a very nice high kick. We've seen Alex crack with that in the past. I think if we do get to that second round, the striking battle becomes a lot closer. And yeah, I just think there's a lot of reasons to take the chance on Moises here at like plus 150 or better. And that's where we're rolling. I don't know if it's going to be a sub, a decision, a knockout, but the fact that I think he can win all three ways, and we got a guy who slows down after the first round, a guy who's making improvements in Moises. I got to go with Moises, man. Great underdog bet, in my opinion. So, yeah, let's fucking get it. Moving on. Next fight, we got, is this the start to the main card? Yes, it is. We got Caceres and Croom. Caceres minus 200. Who you got?
Yeah, man, this is a good fight. I see a lot of people on Croom. I definitely think he's a live underdog for sure, but got to go with Bruce Wheeler here, dude. I think that he's a lot better on the feet. He's more technical. He's really been coming to his own. I know that he's been fighting cans, his last three fights, and I do think Croom would probably beat all those cans. But yeah, man. I mean, I get it. Croom has been around for a long time. I was really impressed with that Roberts fight. Me and you are actually pretty high on Roberts, so I was really shocked with that outcome. And let's be honest, Croom, he has power. He trains at a good camp. He trains with Krause, but Caceres is just so much more technical in the feet. And I do think that Croom has to win this fight if he wants to. I think if Croom wants to win this fight, he has to get it down on the mat, which he definitely could. He has the better wrestling. But yeah, man, I've been impressed with Bruce, man. I think Bruce's striking's good. His volume's really good. He has way more volume than Croom. He's faster than Croom. I got to go with Bruce. And a lot of people are picking Croom here, dude. And I mean, yeah, I think Leroy's a good play here, man. I'm not going to be betting him though, but DraftKings probably going to score like 100 points, dude. So, and one thing too about Bruce Leroy is that he's a pretty durable dude, man. He's only been knocked out once at 135 against Francisco Rivera, dude. He has a really good chin, man. It's just what worries me about him is his ground game because we've been subbed a lot, and Croom has a lot of good submission wins, dude. I mean, I don't know what belt Croom is in BJJ, but definitely, training with Krause is a big, feather in his cap because that's one of the best coaches out there in the world. But yeah, I mean, I think Caceres has a lot of advantages here, dude. I mean, the better cardio. I think he's faster. He has better technical striking. But one thing that worries me about him, though, here is that Croom had a full training camp. So we could really see a different Croom here, man. He could, like I like his head, where his head's at in his interviews and stuff. He's acting like he's gonna be a future champ and stuff. So that's what you have to have. You have to have that mindset to be in this game, dude. So he could look really good here, man. But got to go with Bruce here, dude. So I got Bruce Leroy. I'm gonna go with a comfortable decision.
Man, this is a really good, exciting fight. I think it's deserved to be on the main card. We got I mean, how many UFC fights has Alex Caceres had at this point? Like, it's got to be around 20. Kevin Croom, longtime regional vet, finally got the UFC call. Again, I think it was deserved. Like, I don't think Croom's some world beater or some blue chip prospect, but he paid his dues enough to get into the UFC, and he made the best of it. That's for sure. When he fought Roosevelt Roberts, like, yeah, you can call that kind of a fluky finish if you want, but and I'd probably call it a fluky finish too. I'd probably take Roosevelt Roberts at least 6 times out of 10 against Kevin Croom, but Kevin Croom got the job done. Kevin Croom's a dangerous guy. They don't call him the hard-hitting hillbilly for nothing. The dude can hit hard. The dude, he's got good subs as well, but one thing with Alex Caceres, like, it kind of got to the point a few years ago where I think Alex Caceres was almost reaching like the point where he was almost kind of a joke in the division, but it's not like that at all, man. Like, I feel like he has a chip on his shoulder at this point. Like, he seems a lot more determined, just overall, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm blanking on the word I'm looking for, but he seems like he's on his shit right now, and he looked amazing last time against Springer. I know Springer's a complete bum, but handled him accordingly. Like, fucking Ricky was saying Alex Caceres shouldn't be minus 200 against anybody in a fight a couple days ago. I'm like, bro, how can you say that when he just looked like a minus 1,000 in his last fight? Like, I don't know, man. I think people are sleeping on Alex Caceres. I think that line might be deserved, and I actually bet on this fight, but it wasn't on Caceres. It wasn't on Croom. I put 2 units on the under 2.5 rounds at plus 165. Basically, the way I see it, I think Alex has a really good chance to finish Croom here. Croom has been finished 8 times via strikes and sub. Not only that, Caceres has been finished 8 times as well. A lot of sub losses. So I feel like both guys are open for the finish here. So I don't know, man. I feel like people that are betting Croom, it's almost like I feel like Croom kind of needs a finish here to win this fight. Like, I don't know if he's going to be able to outpoint Alex Caceres. I just view Caceres as the better fighter. That being said, Croom has a pretty good chance at a finish here. So if you like Croom, just take that under, man, because I feel like he needs the finish anyway. And then if Caceres gets that finish, then you're covered both ways. So love the under. Feel like both guys are live for it. So yeah, let's fucking go. Moving on to the next fight, we got Pedro Munoz, Jimmy Rivera. Yeah, I put 3 units on Jimmy Rivera here at minus 145. I like him in this spot. I feel like Jimmy Rivera has been gold against non-top 5 guys. Like, and even in the Peter Yan fight, like, yeah, he was getting dropped all over the place, but he was actually doing pretty damn well in that fight. Like, you can argue he was winning rounds. Like, he's a really good boxer, man. He's got one of the best takedown defense games in the UFC. Like, I want to say it's in the 90%. Jimmy Rivera's got some serious takedown defense. So I kind of feel like I don't think Pedro can get takedowns here. And then boxing wise, I feel like Jimmy's just much faster, better hands, sharper boxer. I see him piecing up Pedro over 3 rounds here. My concern is probably the chin of Jimmy Rivera, even though, yeah, he's only been knocked out. He's only been knocked out once as a pro, but he was knocked out in the Ultimate Fighter as well. And if you actually watch that Jimmy Rivera versus Pedro Munoz, their first fight, they actually hurt each other in that fight. So I mean, it's possible we get a finish here, but I think most likely what we see here is Jimmy Rivera stuffing any kind of takedown attempts and, solidly outboxing Munoz here over 15 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, Munoz for sure, he's got the power advantage. I feel like he's got a way higher finish upside than Jimmy Rivera. It's just, I feel like it's going to be hard to outpoint him, man. I just feel like he's too slow. Not for the UFC level, but for Jimmy Rivera, I feel like he might be a little too slow. And yeah, I got Jimmy. I know the first fight was a split, but yeah, I got Jimmy here, man. Who you got?
I got Jimmy too. He's more tactical than Munoz. He already won the first fight. Everyone thinks Munoz is like a KO artist because he KO'd Cody Garbrandt, but I mean that was a crazy brawl. I know he dropped actually Fawn as well. He has striking, like he has good weight kicks and stuff, but I think Rivera is way more technical and will just piece him up on the feet. Yeah, I think Munoz's best bet is going to have to take this fight down on the ground. I don't think he'll be able to. So, yeah, I got Jimmy.
Moving on to the next fight, we got the feature bout. I know you just made a bet on this one. We got Montana De La Rosa plus 110 taking on Mayra Bueno Silva minus 130. Who you got?
Yeah, I got Montana, dude. I was really impressed with her last fight, man, against Raujo, who I think is a really good fighter, bro. Probably a top 5 girl in the division. And let's be honest, I do think she won the fight, but I thought Montana arguably won one of those rounds. I mean, I think that she's the better striker here. I think she's more technical. I do think that Silva has more power. She's aggressive. But I think seeing, Munoz go out there and kind of dominate her on the mat, I think that Montana can too. Montana is definitely the better wrestler. She's a brown belt in BJJ. She's been training at Elevation Fight Team. I do agree that Silva has a good ground game. She's a black belt. But we saw Munoz, like I said, control her on the mat, dude. And I mean, a lot of girls, you can take her down pretty easily too. I mean, Barella, the fucking jobber, did. Yeah, she got tapped. And then Roberson made some really dumb mistakes on the mat as well. So Montana has that wrestling background. I think she has really good wrestling. I don't think that she just has to take this fight down on the mat. I think her striking has been looking pretty good, dude. So I think she's more technical. She has a lot of volume. She threw a lot of strikes against Rodney. If you watch that fight and look at the stats, it was pretty close, man. I think it was like 89 to 88 or something like that. I know Rajo definitely won the fight, but Montana's a very tough chick too. So I'll be really surprised if Silva kind of hurts her on the feet. But yeah, I got the girl that has more volume. I think she's more technical, and I think she has the better wrestling. And she has really good cardio. I think they both have good cardio. I can't sit here and say Silva doesn't because Silva won the third round against Munoz. She looked good, but yeah, I like Montana, man. I think she has more ways to win this fight. So I'm gonna go with Montana De La Rosa, and I'm gonna go with a decision win.
Yeah, man. I like the improvements Montana De La Rosa has made. It's This is a weird fight, man. I think it's lined closely for a reason. I do think it's dog or pass, so I wish you luck. But yeah, I mean, I would give Montana the volume advantage on the feet. I would give Bueno Silva the power advantage on the feet. I think it's entirely possible that she just lands the more powerful shots over 3 rounds, wins that way. Obviously, she's got really good jiu-jitsu as well. Problem with Mayra Bueno Silva, though, she's been taken down in every single one of her UFC fights. Now, I will say this, she did win 2 out of 3 of her UFC fights, so even though she's getting taken down, she is subbing these girls, but let's just say this, Montana De La Rosa has better BJJ than Mara Barella and Jillian Robertson. And some people might disagree with that Jillian Robertson, but I think Jillian Robertson has been found out at this point. That's just my opinion. Yeah, it's a good fight, man. I think both girls could get takedowns. But yeah, I just don't see Buena Silva subbing this girl off her back like she has to others. I think if Montana comes in here and gets takedowns, she's going to be a little smarter about it, get that control time, win the rounds that way. But I mean, man, if she doesn't wrestle, I don't know. I kind of get why Bueno's the favorite here. I would see her striking just being too much. And I know Montana finishes strong. Like she had a really strong finish against Vivi, who's a great fighter and everything. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very, very, very close fight, but I'll go with Bueno Silva to be a little different. I'll say she wins a split decision. Um, so we got a big fight announcement here, bro. Well, I wouldn't say big, but it's definitely a exciting one. We got Jeremy Stevens is moving up back up to lightweight. He's gonna be taking on Drakkar Close.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a good fight.
This is a good fight, man. I think I know Drakkar Close is coming off that bad knockout, but it's a good fight, man. So getting to the co-main event of this card, I'm gonna let Justin start with this one. We got Nikita Krillov. He's a big underdog. He's taking on Ankalaev, who's about minus 300. Who you got, man?
Yeah, man. I have the underdog here, dude. I'm gonna be placing a bet on him pretty soon, probably 1 unit shot. But I think it's a really big step up for Ankalaev. I think this is a top 10 dude. I mean, arguably he's better than top 10 guys. He could be in the top seven. I like Krylov. He's come a long way. I think he has really good grappling. He has good pressure. He has good striking. I do believe that Ankalaev is a better striker. I think he's more technical. I think that he has really good kicks, good boxing. But the main reason why I'm going well, there's two main reasons why I'm going with Krylov here. Well, three actually. One, the line is way off. Two, big step up in competition. I mean, you're not fighting Quinton Abreu anymore. You're not fighting the middleweight and Dalsha anymore. You're not fighting Kudalaba. I mean, he was the same amount of favorite against Kudalaba than he is against Krylov. And Krylov's like levels above Kudalaba, dude. And the fact that Paul Craig went out there, I'm not even talking about the submission. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit, but Paul Craig took him down twice. If Paul Craig took him down twice, we think Krylov's going to do. Krylov's a better grappler than Craig. So I definitely think Krylov can go out there. I mean, Krylov's taking guys down like Glover Teixeira. I mean, honestly, if you watch that fight, it was a split, and I do think Glover won. But Glover, I mean, Krylov just kind of got tired with he was relentlessly trying to take him down, and I thought that he could maybe have success on the feet, but not the what are you doing, bro? Like, yeah, you're looking really good on the mat, but you should be trying to strike with him. It was a close fight, and then he took down Jan, the champ. He took down OSP, took down Johnny Walker and dominated him on the mat. So I do think that he has better wrestling than Ankalaev. I think Ankalaev has a good ground game too and good grappling. But I mean, the whole fact that Paul Craig took him down, I think that Krylov can do it too. And I won't be shocked at all if Krylov has a little success in the feet. It's not like he sucks. I mean, he has good striking, bro. He has good pressure, good right hand. Got to go with Krylov. It's a really big step up, dude. And this line is completely off, in my opinion. So, yeah, I got Krylov, holding his own on the feet. And once he gets pieced up, I think he's going to shoot for the takedown and get Ankalaev out of there, man, on the mat. Even if Ankalaev shoots here too, it's not a bad look for Krylov his back. I mean, Krylov definitely has a better jiu-jitsu in this fight, dude. So I got Nikita Krylov by sub.
Yeah, I'm going the other way on this one, man. I get the points you're making. You bring up some good points for sure, but I mean, just to speak on that Paul Craig fight, yeah, Craig got him down twice, but what was he able to do with him? Craig got his ass beat 14 minutes and 50 seconds to that fight. It's really just a fluky finish at the end. Yeah, man. And not only that, that was a few years ago. UFC debut for Ankalaev. Ankalaev's getting better every single fight. I do have a lot of respect for Krylov, though. I remember when he knocked out Ed Herman with that head kick, I immediately took notice of this guy's striking. I followed him along in Fight Nights Global when he got released from the UFC. I knew he'd be back. Rightfully came back, has been looking pretty good since. It's just, I feel like he's dealing with a guy surging to the top here in Magomed Ankalaev. I feel like this guy has really special striking, moves and strikes like a welterweight, but hits like a heavyweight. I mean, he's got the kicks, the punches. I fucking love this dude's striking game. I got him. I mean, I'm picking Ankalaev to knock out some guys in the top five. We were just talking about that before we went on air. I love this dude. But Justin's right. There's some concern with the wrestling here. He can get taken down. Krylov's wrestling has been really fucking good, man. I know it's Johnny Walker, but that was a complete fucking shutdown. And even fights before that, OSP fight took care of OSP. As we know, watching the OSP versus Lonzo Menafield fight, OSP is no easy test whatsoever. So that was a pretty good performance. Finished him too. Yeah, I mean, I want to give Magomed the benefit of the doubt here and say he can stuff and or get back up. And even then, I think if Krylov can get him down, I don't think it's a one takedown and it's over type situation. I think either Ankalaev gets back up or we get going in the next round and he gets right back to work on the feet. You're right. The line might be a little wonky, but I also understand it. I'm going to go with Ankalaev here to knock out Krylov in the first or second round. But yeah, I mean, to bet a top 10 guy, let me see. Krylov's ranked 9th on Tapology. To bet a top 10 guy at plus whatever you're going to get, I can't completely hate it, but I kind of hate it. Let's be honest. Ankalaev's a man on a mission. The dude's for real. And yeah, I think he knocks out Krylov, but I got no money on it. So I wish you luck, bro. Moving on, main event of the evening. Couple more big boys here. We got Jairzinho Rosenstrike taking on Cyril Gahn. Cyril Gahn minus 250, Rosenstrike minus 200, or plus 200, plus 210. I'll start with this one, man. I'm a huge fan of Cyril Gahn. I took notice of this guy right away. I mean, I was just talking about the way Ankalaev moves like a welterweight. I mean, shit, dude. Cyril Gahn certainly looks like no heavyweight out there with his movement. I mean, yeah, he floats in there, bro. Like his footwork's really good. His hand speed's really good. He's huge. He's got a long reach. He's got that heavyweight power. He's got a crown game too. He can wrestle. Like Cyril Gahn, he clearly has a chin too. He's got cardio. I mean, when we look at these prospects and fighters, we got the checkbox of things you want to take notice of. Can he do this? Can he do this? Does he have weakness here? Cyril Gahn checks every single box, man. I mean, this guy really is a blue chip prospect, and I don't even know if we can call him a prospect anymore. He's a top 10 guy. Knocked out Junior Dos Santos. Now, this is for sure a step up in Jairzinho Rosenstrike. I wouldn't consider Rosenstrike a chinny, deteriorating guy like Junior Dos Santos by any means. I know he was knocked out by Ngannou, but like Ngannou's going to knock out 99% of the division. Not only that, dude, like if you watch that Ngannou Rosenstrike fight, Ngannou came in so wild and Jairzinho was winding up and it looked like Jairzinho was about to hit the most perfect punch of his life there for a sec, but Ngannou just got to him way too quickly and powerful and put him the fuck out. I think MMA is a game of inches. I mean, I think that was a spot where I actually bet Jairzinho in that fight against Francis Ngannou. Now, I will say that was probably a bad bet. He did get knocked out right away, but Jairzinho's a bad motherfucker on the feet, man. The dude can strike for sure. It's just I see a big advantage for Cyril Gahn on the mat here. I think he can get takedowns pretty much at will. Like Rosenstrike has shown terrible takedown defense. You go all the way back to the Junior Albini diaper boy fight. Like that was an awful look. And then I will say this though, against Overeem when he was getting taken down, he didn't look like as much of a fish. Like I thought if Overeem took down Rosenstrike, he would just he would do what he did to Sergey Pavlovich. But Jairzinho, he's improved his bottom game. I think he can get back up or make it to the next round, but other than a knockout, I see it being very low percentage that he's able to outpoint Cyril Gahn here. Gahn's the rightful favorite. Now, I don't have money on it, but he's my confident pick. Who do you got?
Yeah, I got Gahn here. I just think he has more ways to win. I think he's really tactical on the feet. He's a point fighter, but he has good striking. He has good movement. He has good power. He has a big advantage here on the mat. He's a good grappler. Rosenstruck pretty much just has a jab and good left hook. But I mean, Gahn has good kicks. He has good boxing. I just think that Gahn's a better fighter. Would it surprise me if Rosenstruck won? No, because Rosenstruck's a good striker. But I mean, like I mentioned, Gahn has more ways to win. So I got Gahn.
All right, man. So quickly run through my bets. I got 2 units on the Caceres Croom under 2.5 rounds plus 165. I got 3 units. Jimmy Rivera minus 145. Let me get this real quick. I got I got 2 units on Moises plus 160, and I got 3 units on Maxime Grishin plus 155. So I think dogs are barking on Saturday, man. I think it's gonna be a good night for underdogs. Kind of sucks on DraftKings that we're only down to 11 fights, but I'm cool with playing a lot of these underdogs. So I feel like I'm gonna be able to get like a lot of diversity in my lineup, even with only 22 fighters. So yeah, man, I think it's gonna be a really fun weekend betting wise and DraftKings wise. It just sucks that we lose fights every damn week, but I guess that's the world we live in now, man. Tell the people who you're betting again, and tell them where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, man, you can find me on UFC Bro Picks on YouTube, on Twitter, the same as well. I've known you for a long time, man, so I'm sure people know, what we're about. Yeah, got a bet on Moises, got a bet on Monteon Del Rosa, and you guys better believe that I'm taking a shot on Krylov. I've been talking Krylov up all week. Even like when the fight got announced, man, I thought that the line was going to be off, and I thought it was going to be, Krylov was going to be live. So, yeah, yeah, man. So thanks for having me again, dude. I'm sure I'll be back. And yeah, pleasure talking fights with you.
Yeah, of course, man. I was happy to have you on here. It's been too long. You're one of my favorite people to talk fights with. Now, next week we got a big one with Jan Blachowicz and Israel Adesanya. You got any quick picks on that main event?
Yeah, man. I got Izzy there pre-tape. I mean, I love Jan, dude. I love Jan, dude. I mean, you already know me, man. I'm a Jan guy. I bet on him all the time, bro. Like, I dog money, and he could win here, dude. He really could. But pre-tape, just got to go with the more technical striker, dude, and Izzy. The co-main event might shock some people here. I know that I went really big on Sandhagen versus Aljo, but I got to go with Aljo here, dude. As much as I like Peter Yan, dude, and Peter Yan's legit, bro. Legit. I think Aljo's going to get it done. I think he can get him down, dude. So I got Aljo. But that's pretty tape. So I still got to watch tape.
Yeah, I mean, with that main event, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, I think we can all agree collectively that Israel Adesanya is the better fighter, but I think it's a question of how much is Jan's size advantage gonna take part here because shit, dude, like if Jan can get a hold of Izzy, push him up against the cage, like dude, he's going to be so much stronger than Izzy. Like, it's such an interesting fight. I think Izzy is the rightful favorite. He's the better fighter. I think he can get off on those leg kicks. I think he can keep distance. But, dude, can you imagine if, like, Jan gets on top of Izzy? Like, what do you think's going to happen?
I don't know if Yan will get him down, bro. I'd be really surprised, man.
But hypothetically speaking, if we were to get a situation where Jan ended up on top of Izzy, like, holy fuck, dude. Like, that's a big strength, size, jujitsu advantage. I mean, I don't know, man. It's going to be a really, really good fight. As for the co-main event, disagreeing big time. I got Peter Yan here to come out and knock out Aljamain Sterling. But
I gotta watch tape. Okay, I'm just going off of memory, dude. Like, I think Aljo is gonna win pre-tape, but obviously I gotta watch tape. There's one big underdog though that I like a lot next week. Obviously I haven't done any tape, but Kyler Phillips against Song Yadong. I gotta go with Kyler there, man. I need pre-tape. I mean, that guy's the real deal, dude. Song Yadong is too, but I mean, I could see Kyler piecing him up, dude, on the feet bad, bro, and even taking him down.
you know who I've been thinking about is Thiago Santos.
Yeah, I got him there too. I like legit. Like, I know I have to take that fight, but yeah, I got Santos there, man. I think he's gonna KO Ratchet's bad.
Like, I know you can make the argument that Rakic has a wrestling advantage, yeah, yada yada, but like we've seen the same terrible takedown defense out of Volkan Oezdemir that we saw out of Thiago Santos. And how did Oezdemir and Rakic go again? I'm pretty sure Oezdemir is the one that got his hand raised. Like, I don't know, man. Thiago Santos is a guy who, ever since he moved up to 205, went to split with the GOAT, knocked out the current champ. Even the Glover fight, Glover almost died like twice, bro. Like,
And his
Thiago
girlfriend just won too, or his fiance just won in Yana Kudskaya. So
yeah, man, good momentum going over there at that home. So yeah, definitely tune in, guys. Next week, I have Mr. AJ Betting coming on to my podcast. He's a newer guy who's been doing some good things. Like, he's posting a lot of content, doing podcasts of his own. I like AJ. Happy to talk to him next week. So yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the like button. I appreciate that when you hit the like button, guys. And that's gonna do
real
it for
quick,
us.
I'll say one thing real quick. Isn't AJ betting your twin?
I
That,
don't
that,
know.
that guy looks just like you, man.
I don't know
100%.
about all that.
You guys are
Well,
twins, dude.
well, the thing about AJ is he's probably had a haircut in the last year.
You guys still have like the same face. You should get a haircut, dude, and then like just oh my god, you guys are gonna look like twins, dude.
That's funny. So that's it, guys. Appreciate you watching. We actually had like 25 viewers in here at one point, so definitely appreciate that. That's gonna do it. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Justin, and see you guys.